Hello, everybody, and welcome to Sparring Partners. I'm Monica Paulini, your host from Senza Fili, and to me today I have Alex Choi, who needs no introduction, but I will give you an introduction anyway. He is the AI RAN Alliance chair, and previously he was the chair of the ORAN Alliance, and a founding chair of the Telecom Infra Project, also known as TIP. But also he is the principal fellow at SoftBank. And prior to that, he was at Deutsche Telekom, SK Telecom, and LG. So he has a lot of operator experience on one end and a lot of experience in running a lot of organizations, putting people together, which is really important when we look at the new development on the RAN, which involves multiple players. So Alex is a perfect person to talk about the evolution of the RAN. And today we're going to talk about AI RAN, which is a topic that has attracted much interest in the last, I would say, the last few months. So let's get started, and maybe Alex, why don't you introduce yourselves as well and tell us what is that you're doing, what is it you're working on right now, and where you're coming from.
Okay, thank you for your kind introduction. So, and also thank you for having me today. Again, my name is Alex, working at the SoftBank as a principal fellow, and I have more than 30 years of experience in this mobile telecommunication industry, and I have been driving many innovation projects, mostly in the capacity of a chief technology officer. And I am so happy to have a chance, many chances to engage in many industry organizations. Started with the Telecom Infra Project. I was a founding chairman of Telecom Infra Project, and then I worked for the ORAN Alliance as a chief operating officer first, and then chair of the board. And that during my previous experiences gave me a lot of confidence that I can take the initiative in this newly established organization's AI RAN Alliance. Very fortunately, I was given a chance to once again to run this alliance, new alliances, as a chairman of the board.
Yeah, and Alex, you are the most prolific writer. Puts all the analysts to shame, because I don't know where you find the time, but you've been writing so much, and it's not just so much. It's not just the volume; it's the quality. So you are my reference point whenever I want to find out something about the RAN. You are the go-to person, and you've been writing so much stuff. And if people follow you on LinkedIn, I'll see all of it. Anyway, so let's get started. And let's get started from the foundation of all what you're doing right now, which is so you're working on the AI Alliance. How does the AI Alliance extend what you were doing at the ORAN Alliances in terms of foundation?
Yeah, very good questions. And let me start with saying a few words about the proper introduction of AI RAN Alliance. So AI RAN Alliance is a global industry initiative dedicated to transforming the radio access network through the integration of AI technologies. So we bring together stakeholders from across the telecommunication ecosystem, including operator, technology vendors, cloud providers, research institutions, and startups to accelerate the adoption of AI-driven RAN solutions. Unlike traditional industry groups that focus solely on developing specification and standard, that's 3GPP and ORAN Alliance, AI RAN Alliance is more oriented toward implementation, research, and creating blueprints, benchmarking AI ML algorithms, and fostering rapid commercialization of AI native RAN technologies. So our primary goal is to drive the evolution of RAN by enabling AI to optimize, for example, network performance in real time, improving the operational efficiency and enhancing the user experience. So we focus on developing practical frameworks, best practices, and reference implementations that enable industry players to integrate AI into their RAN deployments seamlessly. So more specifically, we work on three main areas: AI for RAN, AI and RAN, and AI on RAN. So for AI for RAN, this involves leveraging AI to enhance RAN functionalities and performance. So we promote research and developments in AI-driven features such as radio link optimizations. And the objective is, of course, to improve spectral efficiency, maximize capacity, ensure consistent, high-quality user experience. Whereas the AI and RAN, this area we focus on creating a shared infrastructure for RAN and AI workloads. So by enabling concurrent utilization of platform resources, we seek to increase overall infrastructure efficiency. So this approach not only supports RAN workloads, but also unlock the new monetization opportunity by enabling non-RAN AI applications to run on the same, exactly the same infrastructures. Lastly, AI on RAN, and this aspect, we aims to enhance AI applications operating at the network edge, enabling the delivery of innovative end-user services and applications. So by utilizing the network's edge capabilities, we support the developments of new RAN AI services tailored to AI-driven use case. By co-developing the blueprints for various use cases and fostering collaborative ecosystems, we, AI RAN Alliance, we empowers telecom operators to transition into an AI-driven network paradigm. Regarding how AI RAN Alliance, extend the foundational principles of O-RAN Alliance. So as you know, O-RAN Alliance revolutionized the telecom industry by standardizing the interfaces within the RAN for openness, disaggregation for multi-vendor ecosystems. So AI RAN Alliance, we build on these foundations by embedding AI-driven intelligence into these open RAN architectures. So while O-RAN focus primarily on defining open interfaces and enabling multi-vendor interoperability, we AI RAN expand the focus to include AI-based automation, optimization, and decision-making, thus extending the capabilities of RAN systems beyond the traditional boundaries. Moreover, AI RAN enables a new RAN asset monetization opportunity, like I said, and like edge AI inferencing.
Absolutely. And this is really interesting because, as everybody talks about AI RAN, but very few people really tell you what it is and how it relates to Open RAN. And the way I see it is the two together are even better in the sense that you need AI to get Open RAN these days. So the question is how you do it, and you told us how is the AI RAN Alliance doing that. But maybe you can tell us a little bit more about the unique role that AI RAN plays in pushing even further in complementing the Open RAN focus and vision on disaggregation and open interfaces?
Sure. Yeah, that's a very good question. So as I said, we AI-RAN complements ORAN by operationalizing the potential of open and disaggregated networks with advanced AI capabilities. So open interface, standardized by the ORAN Alliance, allow flexibility, but also introduce operational complexity. So as an example is how to design data pipelines for training AI and machine learning models. So by developing comparative analysis of various learning methods, such as online, offline learning, and creating the actual implementation references within the AI-RAN Alliance working groups, a blueprint can be provided to our member companies so that they can drive the allow the ORAN to validate and verify the practicality of these standards. So moreover, we need to understand that not all AI machine learning models are the same. From the traditional machine learning models to deep learning, reinforcement learning, and now Gen AI and even LLM, large language model. So even for the large language model, there will be various types and sizes of large language model. So it is necessary to conduct very diverse, in-depth experiments on how these various AI machine learning models will be used in different use cases and where they should be deployed, within the RAN system. Additionally, the experiments related to deployment and lifecycle management are required. So these implementation-related projects are the main focus areas that AI-RAN Alliance will work on. And based on these outcomes, we can provide the very valuable feedbacks back to the ORAN Alliance and even 3GPP.
Absolutely, and I think it's really important to point out that AI is not just one monolithic block. It's not just something like salt, you put salt on your dish and it just works. It's just there's a lot of choices that you have to make. So and which is a great thing because the potential is that you can use different tools for different things. So let's get a little bit deeper and go a little bit in the weeds here and talk about what role does AI play in going even beyond the Open RAN capabilities with the RIC and SMO architecture. How is AI help there?
Yeah, sure. So ORAN's open front hole and the SMO RIC architecture provide the foundational framework for disaggregated networks. Nevertheless, the current ORAN AI ML framework still shows areas needing improvements. I already mentioned some of it. So specifically, frameworks for advanced AI such as Gen AI and the closed loop control frameworks like a deep learning based reinforcement learning and need further to be developed to be more practical and usable level. So moreover, to apply the various methodologies for training diverse AI/ML models, there is a strong need for more flexible model AI/ML model training, inferencing scenarios than currently available. And all these aspects will become clear during the actual implementation process. And moreover, in AI-RAN, we aim to review more innovative air interface algorithms, such as neural receivers, which is a very different types of receiver technologies than traditional one. And we believe that kind of innovative algorithms, air interface algorithm, will be very different from the existing ORAN AI machine learning framework.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess that a lot of it is going to be it's forward looking. A lot of it is work in progress. So there's going to be a lot of new models, new ways to do it. Some will work better than others. And I think that that's the innovative part. Maybe you can give us some example of AI driven use cases that will show that will give us a sort of the initial taste of what kind of advanced applications we can have that use the predictive power and the generative AI capabilities.
Yeah, sure. The biggest advantage of ORAN, AI machine learning framework, coined as RIC, RAN intelligent controllers, is a multi-vendor interoperability through the open interfaces. This is also true for their accepts RFs. So it's all about multi-vendor interoperability. That's what they've done very well. And this also applies to AI machine learning framework um, centered around the once again RIC, and therefore these characteristics are very useful in even in AI RAN use cases. For example, consider a scenario where vendor A uses its own AI machine learning model, but they want to operate a more suitable AI machine learning model for a specific use case by sourcing it from a third party. So the operator can respond to the customer's real-time tailored demand by immediately deploying the containerized AI machine learning models supplied by third parties. So we AI RAN Alliance, based on our implementation blueprints, we will make sure that all the third-party AI machine learning model will be seamlessly accessed and also deployed throughout the RAN components.
Yeah, and actually, this is a big issue in terms of making sure that AI models, whatever they do, they work across vendors, and that's not given because you need to have good data to run good AI. So you need to have access to that data, and with a lot of proprietary interfaces, that might be a little bit of an issue. Now, so the technology clearly is a very important part, but all of this relies in the same way that Open RAN does on the collaboration of different parties, on having a good ecosystem at the foundation of it. And so how do you encourage this type of collaboration, in which now it's not just the RAN players, but also you're going to have AI developers, cloud providers, and obviously operators and vendors. So how can you get them all to work together within the AI RAN alliance?
Yeah, this is a very important questions. So we AI RAN's vision requires active participation from a broad ecosystem, even broader than Open RAN. So first, accelerated computing industry. We are inviting the accelerated computing industry. Here I'm referring to like a GPU and DPU, NPU, all sort of newly emerged chipset or super chipset being introduced to the radio access network systems. And also we are inviting the ultra-fast networking industry. And this industry is rapidly expanding especially for the AI data center market. But now we believe that it could play also important role in the this evolving computing-centric future AI RAN architectures. So this industry, which is rapidly again expanding their AI data center market, is once again is going to be a can play a critical role even in the AI RAN ecosystems. And secondly, the AI developers, and of course, they bring the expertise in creating more advanced AI machine learning models or algorithms and tailored to different AI RAN use cases. And thirdly, the edge AI enterprise customers. By applying the edge AI, enterprise customers will be able to advance their digital transformation projects using AI and cloud technologies in collaboration with the AI RAN service providers. And last but not least, I have to mention that we are also inviting the testing and measurement solution providers. And as a result, AI RAN aims for an expanded ecosystem encompassing computing, communication, networking, AI machine learning, developers, and testing equipments companies, which is, I believe, is we can create more synergetic ecosystems across the industry.
Yeah, I have to say that one of the big advantages of disaggregation is the fact that everybody has to come to the table if they want to be participants. So there is much more, I've been working on RAN for quite some time, but you see much more now people knowing about each other, knowing about what each other do, being able to develop the kind of structure, organizational structure to work with others. So it's that is, great to see. But there are also standards, and so that are obviously valuable. And but at the same time, sometimes they might just sort of constrict innovation. So how do you see how Iran bridges this potential gap between ORAN standards and a growing need for AI applications in telecom?
Sure. So above all, like a 3GPP and ORAN standards are essentially a set of specification for interoperability. They are not exactly addressing the implementation technologies that can be directly used to develop the commercial equipments within the ecosystems. So their primary role is to develop the specification and standard, whereas we, AI RAN Alliance, is addressing all this implementation related subject matters. So that generally in our industry, the implementation technology itself is the know-how and the intellectual property of individual companies, and it's their differentiation strategy. So, but the issue is that when AI applications aim to be supported by telecom networks, various operational complexity problems will arise, which can be said to be ecosystem level issues that will require all associated companies so within the value chain should work together. So AI RAN Alliance aims to contribute by addressing practical issues, like I said, in implementation issues, in system development and deployment and operations, thereby removing the barriers to the market creations.
Okay, now another level of integration, because we sort of AI helps us, but also creates a lot of new sort of dimension, new things we have to take care of. So ecosystem, applications, and now how can we make sure that all of this gets seamlessly integrated in the broader telecom ecosystem that is still there? So how does AI RAN get us into facilitate this sort of seamless integration?
Yeah. So the key enablers should include first, open AI RAN APIs, so which is a standardized API for seamless communication between AI applications and RAN systems. Secondly, it's edge computing frameworks, supporting for AI inferencing at the network edge to meet the lower latency requirements. Thirdly, a data pipeline, efficient mechanism for collecting, processing, and utilizing network data to train the AI models. And lastly, the AI model repositories. So we need this repository for pre-trained model optimized for RAN scenarios, use cases, allowing operator to deploy the AI capability very quickly.
Thank you. Now, let's just, we can talk about this for hours, but let's just have a final question. I have a final question for you. And let's look a little bit at the future, right? If you can look at your crystal ball for the next 5 years, how do you see AI RAN, influencing or enabling the evolution of the RAN and the ORAN ecosystem as well, and especially when you think about use cases which are Gen AI driven, because clearly there is AI, which is a bigger set, but there is a lot of interest in Gen AI and also in the movement and transition towards autonomous networks.
Yeah, sure. We AI RAN is poised to drive the adoption of autonomous networks, which means the networks will become fully self-managing, capable of detecting and resolving issues without human interventions. So, and then accelerate generative AI adoption in telecom is another visions we have. So use cases such as Gen AI, Gen AI-driven RAN orchestration will enable operators to simulate, predict, and optimize network performance with unprecedented accuracy. And next is network digital twin, so which allows us to expand the ORAN's relevance beyond the connectivity. And AI RAN will integrate telecom networks with the broader digital ecosystem, such as IoT and smart city, and positioning future RAN as a key enabler for AI-driven services across the industries.
Absolutely. And looks like you're going to have a very busy 5 years ahead of you. I mean, not you personally, but also the AI Iran Alliance and the general ecosystem as a whole. There's a lot to do, but a lot of opportunities as well. So it's quite interesting to see what's going to happen. So Alex, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us. It was an excellent overview to understand what AI RAN is all about beyond the hype, and give us some details. So thank you so much.
Yeah, before we close, let me
yes,
let me share one big announcement from my company, SoftBank.
Awesome.
Yeah, we recently published our AI RAN white paper. So for those who are interested in knowing more about what SoftBank is doing, please visit our website and you can download it free of charge. And
Absolutely.
with that, thank you, Monica, and thank you for this opportunity.
Yes, and it is a wonderful paper, and I will put a link to it also in the description of the podcast, so you can in the notes, so you can get it even more easily. Well, Alex, again, thank you so much, and thank you all for listening in this podcast. It has been a pleasure. And if you're interested, do subscribe to the podcast. We have one usually every week. So thank you so much and see you next time.